Jai Shri Ram. The story of Kaliya Mardana is known to you. But if you examine the story deeply, a very central principle of Hinduism becomes very clear. See, Kaliya was a serpent who was poisoning the water, and cows were dying, and all the gopas, the cowherds who used to go there to take a dip, they also were dying. So the information reached Krishna, and Krishna decided something has to be done. So he went there. He told Kaliya to get out. You are poisoning the water. Kaliya said, no, I am not going to go. So Krishna had to fight him. Kaliya used all his might. Krishna went and danced on his hoods. And then Kaliya held Krishna and dragged him down to the bottom of the river. But Krishna is Krishna, as you know. So Kaliya slowly, after a prolonged fight, realized that he cannot match Krishna. Then he rose to the surface to try some more of his tricks. But Krishna held on tenaciously and he was dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. At some point, Kaliya realized his game is up. So he told Krishna, hey Krishna, and the prayer is very interesting in Bhagavatam. Krishna, Vayam Khalaha. That means by nature we are like this. And you have made us like this. And after making us like this, now if you are trying to punish us and threaten us, what can I do? So please tell me. So Krishna said, okay, now the tables have turned. Kaliya is a very intelligent person, right? Though he is in the form of a snake. So Kaliya says, you made me like this and that's why I am doing what I am doing. So what should I do? Who is responsible for this? Krishna said, okay. Now, why did you come here? He said, Garuda is chasing me. Wherever I go, he will chase me. So I have come here. And yes, unfortunately, my presence has poisoned the water. Now what do I do? And Krishna says, fine. Don't worry. Because Krishna said, ask this fellow to leave. He told him, if I go anywhere else, Garuda is attacking me. So Krishna left his footprints on the hood of Kaliya and told him, once Garuda sees my footprints, he will not touch you. So here, one of the central principles of Sanatana Dharma is, even the worst villain will be given enough opportunity to reform. And we will try to save that fellow, because none of us is a born criminal. Because we are all Atma Swarupas. We are all Sachidananda Vigraha, even the worst villain. Because of ignorance, we forget our true nature and we behave in this asuric manner. And eventually we descend to the lowest levels of tamasic and demonic asuric behavior. That's why Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita also says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. So, my devotee never perishes. If you seek me, then even though you might be the worst kind of sinner, papi, sinner is, as we already discussed, the word sin is a Christian concept of disobedience of God's word. But in Hinduism, we don't have such a strange idea. We have papam. Papam is when you harm somebody, either by word, thought or deed. So, uddhar, even liberating even the worst papi. That is the central idea. So as a Hindu, we never harbor any ill will, malice, rancor, no hatred, no animus. We know that originally every villain, every wicked person forgot his true nature, that he is Sachidananda. He is qualitatively the same. So that is why we are always keen to uplift, because we are all eternal companions of Rama, eternal companions of Krishna. So Once when Rama asked Krishna, Rama asked Hanuman, Kastvam, who are you? Hanuman said, Deha buddhya dasoham. Deha buddhya dasoham. If you take the body into account, I am your slave. Jiva buddhya twadamshakaha. If you take the jiva, now jiva would mean the atma which has now acquired a body. Not just the body alone, body plus the atma complex. Twadamshakaha. I am a part of you. Because the Veda says there is nothing beyond God. All that you see is God. Everything is God. Because if you say that something is beyond, if God is beyond this, then that means there are things that are outside of God, which means God has a perimeter, a boundary. That means God has a limit. So therefore illogical. It is illogical to say that something is outside God. Everything is within God. It's logical. Think a little. So Hanuman said, Jiva buddhya twadamshakaha atma buddhya tvameva aham iti me nishchitamati. If you take only the atma, the English word is soul. I don't want to use that because in Christianity and Islam, they say that soul exists only in humans. Yeah? And in fact, for years, they debated whether women had a soul and whether African Americans have or blacks have soul. Finally, after they realized that these people are getting angry, they said, okay, you also have a soul. Please take the soul. In Hinduism, we believe that even stones have a soul. Ahalya sprang from a stone, which is supported by quantum mechanics, double slit experiment. The conclusion of the double slit experiment is consciousness is the ultimate reality because Thomas Young was the scientist. He realized that the electrons seem to be knowing that they are under observation. So when the sensors were kept on, the electrons were behaving like good boys, that is like particles. When the sensors were switched off, the electrons were behaving like wave energy. So which means electrons know that they are under observation. That means consciousness is the ultimate reality. That is why when we Hindus don't touch anything with our feet, because our sentiment is that everything is holy. Oh my God. Huh? That is why when we wake up also we have prayers where we express our apology to Mother Earth. So consciousness is the ultimate reality. Hanuman said, Deha buddhya dasosmi, Jiva buddhya twadamshakaha, Atma buddhya tvameva aham, iti me nishchitamati. This is the central tenet of Hinduism. Every creature, every being, inanimate and even inanimate and animate, all are divine. And our job, to the extent possible, to help our fallen companions to regain their knowledge. And so that they get back to Godhood. Jai Shri Ram.